Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we're back. It's Strompcast episode 258. I am joined by my two lovely co-hosts. First, my fellow Canuck, Danny. How you doing?
Soon to be our fellow American.
I don't know about that.
That joke will never die.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing well. Big win. A big game in the horizon as well. Transfer deadline day as well. We've still got Carlos Gayu for now. We'll see what happens in the next few hours. But yeah, looking forward to another pod, boys.
Good stuff. And we're joined as he's lagging for me on the screen. I don't know about you. All good. You're back. We're joined by Chris Oliveira. Chris, how you doing today?
My shit is like kind of constantly fucking up, and then it's good for a while, and then it fucks up, and then it's good for a while. So I'm hoping it's good for now. But yeah,
I'm good. Looking crystal clear. Bro.
Crystal clear. All
you're looking good right now.
You are not looking that crystal clear like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, you're looking pretty sharp right now.
High definition.
Okay, let's hope it stays like that.
You're looking very 1080p instead of 360p right now.
I've been like kind of just like unexpectedly thinking, like maybe we're just gonna, cruise to a league title, maybe it's not even going to be a battle to the end. Maybe we're just going to cruise. But like anytime that crosses my mind, I'm like, there's just no fucking way. That can't happen. So kind of a little nervous about this, I guess not even this weekend, Friday, because of that, because right, it can't just be so simple, right? But
never.
Maybe it will be. You never know.
Awesome. We have just the one game to cover today, but make sure you follow us, all things Alvalade, as you can see the bottom screen there, AT Alvalade on X for the time being, and then we will get into shortly just the very simple game, 3-1 against Farense. Danny's going to pull up goal point because that is gospel around these parts, and we'll go through the lineup as follows. Rui Silva starting in goal. Defense of Gonzalo Inacio, Usman Diomande, flanked by Fresneda and Arujo. Midfield of Jenny, Hulman, Braganza, and Kenda. And then a front two of Trincao and Harder. Substitutes of João Simões, Matias Reis, Zino de Bas, and Afonso Moreira getting a random and rare cameo. Danny, I'll start off with you. What'd you make of the game? 3-1 win. Somewhat comfortable, I would say. They made it a little dicey at times, but ultimately we got the result. What do you have to say on the matter?
Yeah, I mean, it was always going to be a game where we were looking to dominate there. But it was, pretty straightforward win from Sporting. Fresneda with his first career goal, if I'm not mistaken. Decent performance from him. Apart from the goal, I don't know if he did anything else, to be quite honest with you. But I'm not trying to hate on him.
He was fine this game, I thought, like for the most part. But yeah, I think the goal bumps him up. A goal is always going to bump you up in the goal point ratings at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. But it's still lacking a bit more. And good that Quaresma's coming back. Didn't even get any minutes this game, but maybe should have done something for the right back position. But we'll get into transfers later, I guess. I thought another great game from Diomande. I heard Chris last podcast saying that it's just been an accumulation of great games from Diomande, and another one again. Big header. The goal that they scored wasn't really his fault. Inacio kind of fell asleep there. Again on their goal. Listen, I'm liking Rui Silva, but other than that, what has he been doing? Like nothing.
Bro,
He's had almost no shot.
I'll just stop you on the goal because we're going to get there eventually. Might as well talk about it now. Yeah. I'm not trying to hate, but do they flip a coin in the VAR room? Like what goes on?
What happens? Yeah. What mysterious magic goes on
And
there?
Here's the thing is I'm totally fine with that goal being allowed. Mm-hmm. Because they don't have the proper angle on it, right?
And you shouldn't overturn it.
It looks like he might be ahead, but it's like I don't have a good angle. So like I'm trying to like look at the 6-yard box because it's like very close to the 6-yard box, trying to use that as a reference point. But again, you don't have the proper angle. Let it stand. But so many times they will disallow that. I have seen that disallowed that gets disallowed 80% of the time.
Yeah.
Why Saturday did they say, okay, that's cool? I don't know. And what was so annoying about it also, they have done nothing all half. They have no shots.
Yeah.
And now we have a game again, honestly, out of nothing. So, like, I get it. Like, it's genuinely too close to call, and we don't have a good angle. And here's the other thing. I actually think they ruled it out on the field. Did they not?
They did.
Initially they
ruled it out. So they deemed that there was enough evidence there to overturn that. Bro, like
do not hit play on that.
Tough.
But yeah,
listen, let me just say, I think it is really offside because.
Oh, you think it's off?
Because
I actually think it might be on.
I think it might be on.
I'm with you there. Sorry, I think it is onside. Excuse me. That's
okay.
But I'm with you there because the angle is behind. I also am only basing it, like you said, the 6-yard box, because Diomande's foot is slightly ahead, like is in the box, whereas this guy's body is just like slightly on that line.
But you can't tell how much the shoulder truly is leaning.
That's the problem is unless you have a camera that goes perfectly parallel with the field, you're never going to get the perfect angle.
You'll get it's not like this is about, like, we've had worse angles than this.
We've had way worse. Like, this is about as good as you're going to get.
This is not that bad of an angle. This is a pretty good angle. It's just
it'll be nice when we get to the automated offsides like they used at the Euros, because I thought that was pretty slick, and we'll probably get there in a couple years in Portugal, but we're just right now this is what we have to deal with as our weekly discussion about the lines.
We haven't had it in a couple weeks, to be fair, it's
been a little while. It's been so long.
Which is good, right? I guess. At least not in our game. But it was always gonna rear its head.
Yeah. And I do agree with you. I think he is onside. It's close, and my opinion has always been if you don't have enough to overturn the call on the field, then the call on the field should stand.
So you'd say offside then in this case.
But I think upon further inspection, he does look onside to me.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I'm trying to find an image of it because this is the video. I'm obviously it's not going to press play.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to zoom in, but it doesn't really work for the screen share.
No.
My only thing is with these lines. Where are you putting these lines in? Because
where do they come from? Where do they go?
If you look at it, the red line is like going through the Farense player body and like maybe touching his knee.
I think they're saying his knee is the furthest part forward the Farense player,
which probably is the case. It's probably his knee thigh area.
It's just like this goal and the revision of it is truly a work of art. Is a work of art to overturn the call on the field with this as the evidence. I guess good for them for having the courage to do it, but I mean, also
it just like
figure it out.
It just feels so inconsistent sometimes.
How long are we gonna do this shit for?
Well, yeah, it's like you said, it just feels so inconsistent at times where you're like, I really don't know. They could decide either way, and I wouldn't necessarily be shocked, and that's a problem. Yeah, I'm just.
But then to follow up on your other point, Danny, and then you can continue. He still barely has faces any shots, and then they get one shot. It's in the net.
Unsavable. To be fair,
not that he could do anything about it. Not that he could do anything about it. But
yeah, it's guys open. The guy gets left open. It's
almost laughable at this point.
Yeah. It's more Inaci's fault than anything else. Inaci fell asleep on this play. Fresneda also lets the easiest cross in too, but nonetheless, tough.
Yeah, look, there's two guys beside him, and they both let him get a cross off.
Yeah.
But one of you guys,
Fresneda's the one that's like defending a man-to-man, and the guy just cuts in left, and Fresneda's just like he's not on it. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a hater on him, or I'm being too hard on him, but it's too easy, I think, in his case. Right?
It just feels like that could have been a little more avoidable than what it just easy. It just felt like it was
their first and only chance, if I'm not mistaken, too.
That was really kind of their only. It was the first shot, first goal, like first attempt on goal, and they scored. Anything else to add this game, Danny?
Yeah. But again, other than that, a dominating performance from us, right? Like, from start to finish. Harder played really well this game. He didn't seem to shot happy. João Simões, again, I think we're we're starting to see like the real evolution of João Simões, because this is back-to-back games where he comes off the bench and he makes such a big difference for us. You're on mute, Chris.
Yeah, he wasn't a finished product by any stretch. He's going to keep developing.
He's still not.
Like,
And he's still not.
It's happening in real time. He's getting better and better in real time.
Yeah, I kind of like that he's playing deeper. I think Bragança up front isn't doing so well.
No.
I think Bragança is really, you can really see that he's more of a deep line.
He likes to sit back a bit deeper, I think.
Exactly. He's more of an 8, not so much of a 10, even closer to a 6, if anything.
For sure.
But João Simões has been playing lights out there, so I think you can't steal Bragança there. Another injury, boys. Another fucking injury. And this one looks bad.
It didn't look great.
They have been so unlucky.
I also sprained my ankle that day too, so I'm devastated for Jenny. We're struggling out here in these streets. But yeah, another injury, not great. But yeah, that's all I gotta say really. And my just standard Kenda is the fucking God's gift from Earth at this point, because another great game from him.
He's just great.
Another great game from Maxi. Yeah, man. And we have a keeper that comes off his line. I also wanted to mention that about Rui Silva. It's refreshing to see.
Except for that one time when it was.
Except for the one time he came off his line.
They almost killed Ignacio. Yeah.
Except for when it suddenly was like, oh no, stay on your line.
It's true.
Yeah, except for that one time.
Yeah. Not bad. Yeah.
Chris, I'll pass it off to you. What did you make of the game? Anything that stood out to you outside of what Danny said?
Definitely. Well, not definitely, but probably the best Gyökeres-less game this season, I would say.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Which was good. I think the last league game against Nacional, I would say that we dominated the game in a similar fashion. I think that we created a bit more, honestly, in this game than the Nacional game. The problem in the other game was we were just kind of not doing anything with all the large stretches of possession we were having, and crosses, etc. So I think this game was like a bit more clinical. I honestly always think that Farense plays us tough for some reason.
I feel like a lot of our games against them, like obviously since they've come back up.
Here's the thing: is like they may have only taken points from us like once. Maybe they beat us in a cup game too, if I'm not mistaken.
I feel like every game we play them is like a. I feel like it's like every game we play them.
And obviously, there's the famous 2020-21 game with the 90th minute head punch incident. Penalty was awarded to Sporting, which probably went on to be pretty important. So yeah, they're just always fucking annoying, but they often don't really beat us or get points. They're just like annoying, but we always come out on top, at least for now.
Well, what about the games where it was like Mateus Oliveira revenge?
Yeah, like they're annoying as shit. They might have stolen a point in the Mateus Oliveira game.
I think they did.
I think they did at one point.
Yeah,
there was a 2-2. There was a 3-2 or something at one point, I think. Yeah, like
they're just really annoying, honestly. Yeah. So I kind of was expecting that again. So it was like, honestly, like a bit of a relief. It seemed that it was going more comfortably, right? They broke out pretty well, I thought, like on the counter. The only team that reminded me of them, like, as far as like maybe it was their personnel as well, like pace, Elvis Balde.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean he's always dangerous. Like this is like the type of game he's gonna be a problem in. And like especially playing at Alvalade, it's difficult. And like obviously Santa Clara did it the best out of anyone I've seen like in years in the game where they beat us. But this was like like the light version of that. So I did think that they were dangerous, or they had the potential to be dangerous more so than anything. And we didn't really allow it, although I saw the potential for it to happen there. Obviously, that nonsensical controversy happens right before half, makes it a game again when it really shouldn't be. And I thought that Harder's decision-making was like noticeably better in this game. Still was able to get his goal. Anyways, yeah,
hey,
nice.
Doesn't matter how. It's
take
how
it.
many.
Take it.
Take it.
Still able to get his goal. And his, very good game from him.
Yeah.
Again, a player that's only going to keep getting better, I think, as they learn and mature. You can still, I wouldn't say that he's like raw, because he if he was super raw, he wouldn't even be on the field right now. So it's like a combination of like him, developing into the version of himself that he will be. And it's interesting to see it, because there's multiple guys, I would say, that are kind of going through that right now, and we're witnessing it in real time, which is great. I don't really have anything else to add. How long is Jenny out for? A couple weeks?
Didn't say,
I assume a couple weeks. I assume probably a week or two at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there hasn't really been an update on that. So
the foot strain, right?
The press conference, but yeah.
Okay.
Foot or ankle. I don't even think he disclosed it after the game, to be honest. He said
no. It's probably going to be something where they'll play it by day, essentially.
Yeah.
Like he could,
but he'll definitely be out Friday
for the
and
Porto game for sure, and probably for the Dortmund game.
Yeah.
That first game, which we'll get into. I don't have much to add to this game. I kind of agree with all that you guys both said, in that it was just a bit weird to feel like it was like, oh yeah, they're 2-0 up if they're cruising the halftime, and then goal, and it's like, oh, that stinks. Especially because we've already talked about the lines. Not going to get too much into that. Where it was like, oh, I don't know. Made it more of a game than it was, and then it felt like for the second half, it was like, okay, just go get one more and you'll be fine. Go get one more and you'll be fine. And they couldn't really do anything. It felt like they were trying, but credit to Farense, they were being frustrating on defense. Then finally, we kind of got the breakthrough to kind of put things away, and it made us feel a lot more comfortable. Another monster game from Diomande with a goal as well. So very happy to see Fresneda get on the score sheet. Harder, like you said, he wasn't as trigger happy this game, which is good, because I think he's been guilty in past games of just kind of trying to shoot wherever, being the pro clubs guy. I'm just going to have a shot. Yeah. So you can see his decision making in that final third's gotten a little bit better. He had an assist as well, actually, worth noting. Good Trincão game again. I was very happy with Trincão. I thought he was deserving of a goal. Nice to see him kind of bouncing back. I think, given he had a bit of time between games now to rest, that maybe made a bit of a difference. But the games are going to come thick and heavy in the next couple weeks. They've got Clásico against Porto. They've got 2 games against Dortmund. I forget who their game after Porto is, but we'll get into it when we get into predictions. We'll be able to see that outlook for the schedule.
Aruca.
Is it Aruca? Okay.
Mm.
So a couple games thick. 4 games pretty thick and fast over the next couple weeks. And then you kind of go from there. They don't really have any cup games for a while, other than if they go past
Gil Vicente at the end
of
the month.
At the end of February?
Yeah, 26 it's saying here.
Oh, I forgot. I thought it was, I don't know why I thought it was March.
It could be also early March, but I'm pretty sure. No, because we have a weekend game in March, so probably not. Yeah, probably.
Okay. Right. So they only have one Tossa game. I mean, the Tossa is the Tossa. It's literally like one game. It's not really making that much of a difference to your season.
Quarterfinal though, important.
Quarterfinal, it'll get them to the semi. It'd be nice to
get the breaks at least after the season we've had. Lost in the finals. I mean, let's win the league first. Of course,
it stinks because it's 2-legged. It's just, I think the Tossa stinks because it's 2-legged semifinals, and I hate that.
I kind of like it. Think about it though. We don't have that Bruno Fernandes winner in the semis against Benfica.
I know, but also it's kind of dumb. It just makes sense that every game is single leg, and then just for this one round, it's 2 legs.
Well, that's like that everywhere. I mean, or not everywhere, but most places. Today, Arsenal Newcastle was second leg for Carabao Cup, for League Cup. So
for the Caribbean Cup, yeah.
The Caribbean Cup.
Caribbean Cup.
Caribbean Cup.
Yeah, Energy Drink FC Cup or whatever the fuck. No other outstanding notes on this game. We'll get into other shenanigans in a minute with league table and stuff. Man of the match for me is Harder. Close second is Diomande.
Yeah, I'm gonna reiterate that as well. Close third is Maxi Arujo, but let me also say Harder. Also, I think on the Fresneda goal, Harder did all the work there, and Fresneda just had to tap it in as well. So big on Harder. Hopefully, he can continue this form. I'm not sure if Gyökeres is going to be back, but if he's not, I'll take harder. The way he played against Farense, I'll take him.
Yeah, he's been getting better with each game, so I'm not as worried if Gyökeres is sitting out against Porto or does like a come off the
I don't
bench.
think
if
he
they're-
is.
I don't think he
Yeah.
is too. Apparently, allegedly, we won't name our sources here, but it's not an injury. It's an
It's
agent
just something
that kept
else.
him
It's
out
an agent.
of games.
Oh,
Really have
really?
Who you got there, though? Who you got there?
Well,
The hell am I in the YouTube comments right now? Who is this?
Who the hell is this? Daniel.
Daniel
That's
SCP, is that me?
Yeah.
Is that you, brother? What are you
Burner.
doing? You're commenting on your own show, trying to get engagement, farming for engagement?
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy stuff from Danny Saldana. If true. Big if true. We
ahead,
move
Chris.
on then. Oh, Chris, who's your man of the match? Before I skipped over you.
I'm gonna go with Harder. Gotta.
That's understandable. I vouch for that. We move to league tables, league standings for predictions. Chris gets the result, or he gets a win, 1 point. I get just 1 point for the win. We didn't get any of the scores. Danny and Sam.
No, but forgot to mention actually, Sam. I deserve some punishment for forgetting. Sam away at Farense this game. Am I not? Oh no, that was Champions League. My fault.
Champions League, he was away for Bologna.
Bologna.
Yes. He wasn't for
Yes.
this game, right? My fault.
No,
He did post a blog,
Shame on you.
which honestly, I'm gonna watch it tonight because I haven't had.
Yeah, I
me
gotta
too.
watch that
I haven't
too.
had a chance to watch it today.
Yeah, I've been busy.
Shout out,
I gotta
Sam.
watch that. But we move to the predictions for next game against Porto. Danny's already got his. I'm assuming that's victory.
Not dropping the ball.
So he.
That's what
I've
that
already
is.
put in mine.
thinks
I
he's
might
playing.
change this.
He's playing.
I think I'm gonna change it to harder and Trincao
Oh.
just to be safe in case
Yeah.
Gyökeres doesn't play. Chris, I yield to you. Who are you predicting and why?
I think that Porto is gonna shit house a point, honestly, but
Okay.
it's not gonna. That they need more than that. So
They
I don't-
need a win.
I don't think that result is that bad for us.
No, I'll take a draw away from home
We're up-
at the Dragão.
We're up against the
Yeah.
Argentinian. Ruben
Yeah,
Amorim
they're
too.
yeah. I mean,
It's
they're
good the first half last game. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll take a draw. It might let Benfica, if at most Benfica gains 2 points on like a 6
I'm gonna
or
go
7 point
2-2.
lead. 2-2. Interesting. He's
Who's
going for some
Benfica?
chaos. Who's your scorers?
Gyökeres
Ooh, okay.
and
You got options.
The brace, bro.
nah.
You can go times 2. I'm not gonna.
I don't think I'm gonna go for the brace. I think I'm gonna
Okay.
go.
on goal.
I don't want to go Trincão either because you went with Trincão.
You can go with Trincao. I don't care. I could be
Yeah, I think
totally
it's
wrong.
possible. I've gone to
Maybe.
Rujo a couple times and he hasn't come through for me.
You got Hillman a couple times and he
I'm
hasn't come
Kilman
through
a couple
for you
times and he
either.
hasn't come
Yeah.
through for me either. I'm
Which
thinking
only
maybe
means his goal
Braganza.
is coming though. It
But
only
I'm
means his
thinking
goal
maybe
does-
Braganza has one coming.
Braganza. Is that you want to lock that in, Braganza?
Yeah, I'm gonna lock in a Braganza off the
like
bench
that.
goal.
Off the bench, Braganza goal. Okay. We might as well also predict the Dortmund first leg while we're here.
I didn't expect those games to be so soon. I'll be honest.
I thought
Yeah,
I
me
didn't
too,
think they
me
were
too.
that quick. I know that when I saw
Is that
the
not normally how it
schedule,
was in the past? Like, I feel like we had like a month off between rounds.
I feel
in
like
the past.
because of the fact that they had to play the 2 like group games in January, still that's why I feel so much
because
closer.
normally it's 6 group games, and this time it was 8. So
yeah,
if they were
usually it's all done by
following-
like before Christmas.
if they were
but
trying to
because
get
of
it
that-
done in the same amount of time, there would be. Yeah, I guess that explains
Yeah,
it.
I think that's why it feels quicker because
Yeah, there was
typically you wouldn't have had any Champions League games in January, but we
had
two.
group stage games all the way till the end of January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Danny, what are you predicting for the first leg against Dortmund?
I just checked too. We're at home the first leg.
Yeah,
I was gonna go with the draw, but now that we're at home,
you're thinking like a little 2-1, 1-0.
I'm hoping for a little 2-1. But yeah, I think I'm gonna still stick with the draw. I'm gonna go with the 1-1.
Okay, goal scorer. I was gonna
Look
say I
at the
can't see because
stream.
I'm on the other tab.
Look at the stream.
I was switched over to the other tab.
I know.
Yeah, cool. All right, Chris, what are you saying for the Wednesday game against Dortmund or Tuesday? Whatever
Tuesday,
it
I think.
is. Tuesday, yeah.
The 11th.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, the second leg is the early time, right?
I think the second leg is an earlier.
Yeah, which I wasn't thrilled about when
No.
I saw.
Overly enthused.
I'm gonna go 3-1 win first leg.
Oh,
Was
all right.
that the score in the last result when we played them at home last time?
Yeah, that was actually a couple years ago. So all right. Who's your goal
I
scorer?
remember.
And also, I just have no confidence in Dortmund's away form this season.
Yeah, they've been very. Right. This was like if you wanted a team to draw, like this was
I
an
think
okay
that
team.
could,
better than
I think
Atalanta.
we're gonna have a big result.
All right.
I'm gonna go Jokeres ×2 and Trincão.
All right. I'm gonna go for a 2-1.
I like it.
I'm gonna guess Jokeres. I'm not gonna guess Trincão. I think I'm gonna go for a Hulman banger.
Gotta be I mean, he's gotten a couple, but the next one's gotta be soon.
Yeah, I was torn between like Hulman
He's averaging
and
like one every
and like
6
Braganza,
weeks,
but I'll go with Hulman for
maybe
this
4
one.
weeks.
Yeah. So if we go up to the top of the table, so Danny's sitting at 4, Sam's sitting at 38, sleeping. Danny in third, just a couple points behind Chris though at 40.
Still alive.
Chris sitting at 43. He clawed back some points last week. No points.
And then you
this
got
week.
one back this week, right?
No, we both hit 1 this week, so nothing.
Oh
changed.
yeah, we stayed.
So we just kind of washed. So you're at 43, and I sit at 60. But yeah, your last week where you got the exact score and a couple scores, that ate in like 4 or 5 points on me.
We need it again.
Yeah, you need it. So that's where we stand in the predictions right now. I pass it back to you guys. We have some transfer stuff we can get into. We did make a transfer for I don't even know his first name, guy named Biel. I don't remember his first name. But
Gabriel. Is actually his first name, but he calls himself Biel. Which is already a stinker of a transfer, if you ask me.
What a jabroni name.
Yeah,
What a jabroni name. That's a jabroni nickname if I ever heard one.
Yeah.
So we got this Biel guy.
Yeah, whatever. I'm sure we won't get this video is
Biel
not bad, right?
Teixeira. Played for Bahia. I've watched Brazilian League on occasion. I couldn't recall a time I think I've ever seen him. I don't think I ever actually watched.
Yeah, remember when we had that like mistake? I'm trying to remember his name, bro. Rich, do you remember that dude we signed from Bahia who
Marco Tulio?
Maybe.
No,
we did sign him from Bahia, I think, though.
Did we sign him from Tulio too? That's another show.
I'm gonna look him up right now.
I think this was actually before. If I'm not mistaken, he was like a CDM.
Sounds like Marco Tulio right now.
I don't even think.
Oh no, he's Atletico Mineiro.
I don't even think we signed him. I don't even think Bahia was in the top flight when this player signed. And I want to say it was like around 2015. So I want to say like maybe not the greatest transfer history, at least recently.
Let me check. I'm gonna
the two
Google
clubs,
while you guys.
But yeah, I have high hopes. We talk more later on about some of our conspiracies about the end of the transfer window for Sporting. But I mean, it was kind of a surprise.
Can I name you a name, Chris?
Yeah.
Was it Bruno Paulista?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude. What and then he was like not playing for a while, still on the books at Sporting. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm looking through our 2015 transfer window on transfer market right now. Can I name you some of these names
from between the two clubs?
No, just Sporting in general.
2015.
2015. Bruno Cesar there, Teo Gutierrez, Naldo, Everton, Brian Ruiz, Marvin Ziegler, Seba Kouach, Aquilani.
Ziegler.
Great window so far.
Hernan Barcos. Let me driving off a cliff. Heard that
El
bar,
Pirata.
João
We
Pereira.
never got to see him do the pirate celebration because he never scored.
Never
for
did
us.
it.
Bruno Cesar's there, João Pereira's there. We made a lot of moves. Holy smokes. Michael Ciani from Lazio.
Yeah. And then
Oh my
he
god.
doesn't count.
No,
Dude,
He was there for 2 weeks.
That did not work out.
Ezekiel Shalotu.
Asbejug, our boy.
Yeah, Asbejug.
Friend of the
And
show.
then a bunch of the outgoing transfers and loans was like Maurizio, Zakaria Labiad, Wilson Eduardo,
Labiad.
Eldon,
Could have been with that kid.
Who was
Valentin
still being litigated
Viola.
as recently as like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Viola, another one. Loved Viola back in the day.
Simeon Slavchev.
Wow.
Who?
That must have been an outbound, right?
That was an
Yeah.
outbound, like in the loan.
Yeah. The Slabchev era was a little before.
Some random B player.
Ricardo Gaio, Wilson Eduardo, Maurizio,
Yeah.
Fabrice Fokubo.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah. The Cameroonian. Yeah.
He is
I don't-
Cameroonian. Good for you.
I don't even
I had
remember him.
to
I'll be
look.
honest, I don't think.
B team player, though. B team
That's
player.
a crazy summer of activity of incoming
Yeah.
and outcoming transfer activity. Wow. I think when I did FIFA career mode that year, I think I literally, as soon as I'd start career mode, would put every one of those guys I listed for sale. I'd have like 20 dudes for sale on the market my first like month of a career mode. Yeah. Anyways, back to this guy, BL. Back to this
guy.
jabroni.
Listen,
This
apparently
guy.
according to Twitter scouts or X scouts, whatever they're called,
Whatever. we call it.
very injury prone, so
He'll
fits
fit
right
right
in.
Fit right in.
And not that special for the price we're playing, but we'll see, I guess.
Here's the thing. I tend to think that players in the January window coming from Brazil are going to tend to have their value inflated slightly.
because their season just ended. Not like they're just in preseason technically right now.
Top players from Brazil cost a lot more than this these days.
But
If
Porto,
6 million is an inflated fee,
yeah,
it kind of feels like this is more of a prospect gamble, more so than
This is you're taking a shot and hoping
we're signing a guy that's we're expecting to walk into the team and get big minutes.
yeah.
I don't think that they expect that.
No,
But maybe they do.
I think in
wouldn't see
2015, you see this price for a guy from Brazilian league, you're like, okay, this guy's probably going to be pretty good, probably established starter. I feel like nowadays, with the way the transfer market's been just so overinflated.
Mhm.
I agree with you, Chris. The vibe is kind of like you kind of feel like you're maybe a bit more of a project player, and
23.
we're hoping he's 23. Like he's not
So he's
old,
not that
he's not
age.
young. He's
Yeah.
He's got time, right? But we'll see.
I was gonna say the
what he
kid
does.
that Porto signed, I think they're up for more or less the same price. I think it was like 7.5 or 10.5.
It was
million,
it was
something around
close.
there.
It wasn't
That kid's
super
good.
far.
Much like high potential as well.
Mhm.
So for us to sign this guy at the same price again, but I'm not too familiar with him, right? Like,
What's
I
his
only watch
potential on FM? Somebody in the chat. What's his football manager potential? Does he go sicko mode or is he just fine?
Yeah.
I'll even
I need
take
to
just
look into
fine.
that.
Okay, I'll even take just fine.
Yeah.
If he goes sicko mode, cool. But like if he's just like, he's a player, he's all right, serviceable, I'd even take that.
I think the last thing we need to mention, so I think it's crucial information here.
This is groundbreaking stuff from Danny.
So he took 30 because of Messi, right? But one thing that's not talked about enough is he could have easily taken number 7. So it only means that the club itself realizes that the number 7 is actually cursed.
Probably.
Because nobody is touching that number. Unless Ronaldo comes back. But
Pipe dream.
I don't think that's happening.
Pipe dream. Like I don't even want it to happen at this point. He seems like such a weird dude off the field. The more I see Ronaldo off the pitch, the more I'm like, you're just a weird, selfish, kind of arrogant dude that I don't think I want around my club.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, but that's gonna get me crucified on Twitter.
The CR7 kit though.
We have so many people on Twitter that like if you say one bad thing about Ronaldo and Sporting, you're just anti-Sporting geese and you should rot in the depths of hell. So
that's me, by the way.
And you know what, folks at home, it me as well. I'll fucking meet you there. I'll be waiting there. I'll be waiting with snacks.
He's been doing a little media tour.
He has been.
Yeah.
Talked about Sporting in Spanish
Sometimes-
and in Portuguese. now.
Sometimes he
Yeah.
flicks on a Sporting game from time to time.
Yeah, he
Allegedly.
said he watches sporting games sometimes.
Sometimes, some of the time. He watches Sporting some of
I
the
like
time.
that.
He's
I mean, one, I wouldn't expect you to be
Yeah,
like, I'm watching all the time because you're still a professional footballer and you have way other more important things going on in your life.
Yeah.
But I thought people that were like, oh, you see that? He watches us sometimes. I'm like,
he's locked in.
he's locked in. He's here. I'm like,
Bro,
man,
think about
calm
it. You
down.
can either be looking at Georgina or looking at Ricardo Gaio. Who are you picking?
This guy.
I know who I'm picking.
This goat.
Personally. He's GOAT, exactly.
He's goat. And you on Instagram, you see like 80 chicks on your timeline. That
Sometimes
look like
he chooses this guy. Yeah.
sometimes he's
Yeah,
choosing.
sometimes he chooses these
Sometimes
guys.
he chooses to watch Franco Israel.
Exactly. Another one.
That's we can confirm.
Um,
Young Travassos had a
another
good
news I
game.
thought interesting, yeah, was Travassos maybe at a big game against Benfica this week. I think he was for their first goal. I think he got an assist. Estrela almost came back and won that game. Maybe deserved a little more from that.
So close to
Being
the
touted with Estrela Amadora now. Maybe they're going to use the buyback or the buy option of $2 million. Personally, I think seeing our right back situation of only Fresneda and like a center back that's adapting to right back and he's GOAT, as we mentioned, I wouldn't. Seeing him play at least against Benfica, I don't think that's a bad option to maybe let him come back home and fill in a backup spot for the time being. Maybe fight for the first spot, unless we have plans for that in the summer. I'm not opposed to that.
They might have plans. Who knows?
Yeah,
I think the injuries this season have thrown a lot more things off than they would have hoped.
Yo, this photo,
dude,
I swear to
he
God,
looks like a wall. Holy,
it looked. You know the edited photo where they have mini arms.
yeah.
He looks like he has
can
mini arms in this
stretch.
photo, and every time I look at this photo, I'm like, is this photo edited?
Is this a
I
real
don't
photo?
think it is, bro. I need to see measurements of this man's wingspan.
He is such an oddly built human. How
Like-
does one acquire this
Like
build?
your wings, like dudes who like top prospects, right? They're 6'8", but then their wingspan is 7'6". You know, like does he have a shorter wingspan than height? You know, like
how does one acquire this build?
yeah, it's like
That's what I would
is
like
that
to
why
know.
he can't fucking reach anything? He's so big, but he has no reach. I don't know, man. I need to see measurements.
Yeah.
Guys, someone
I
get
need
the
to.
tape out. Get the tape.
We
out.
need a transfer market.
There's
for
no
keepers.
like draft combine, so I can't like Google
his
the width of his
wingspan.
palm, the width of his palm,
That too.
thumb to pinky.
Yeah.
Like they have measurements on every American football player. You can look up.
everything
You can look up
imaginable.
any like stat, detail, personal information, anything.
It's like, what's the width of this guy's calf? Like,
Yeah,
it gets
like,
that granular. What's his
I
wrist
need that
size?
on Vladan, but I just don't think that I'm gonna be getting it. Sadly,
No, I think you're gonna be.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna be waiting for.
I
that
need
dog.
him to send it to me himself.
Looking at this photo, he is such a weirdly built human being. By just this photo, it could be just the perspective.
Maybe it's the photo. It's like this photo is just
Yeah.
every time I scroll,
Cursed.
I'm like, what
You're like, what the hell is this? This can't be a real dude.
the? It looks
This looks like in
edited,
the
man.
old FIFA games when you had like a big guy, but like you can make him like lean, medium, and stocky.
Yeah,
and you
it
just left him
looked
on
like
stocky.
there's something wrong with this photo.
Yeah,
Maybe it is
that's
edited, and
crazy.
I just think it's not. But I don't know, bro.
No, but his arms look fucking mad weird, bro.
Yeah, he looks weird. Maybe
I
it's
need a
just the
wingspan,
shirt. Maybe
though.
it's just the shirt too, because I feel like that's a really loose shirt on him.
I don't know, bro.
So maybe it
But then
doesn't
if
help.
you think about, remember the goal, one of the goals he suffered against Porto on the Supertaça, where it's like right at him and he still couldn't reach it. And
Yeah,
he's like 6 something. Like
he's huge.
there's something there, Chris.
I think Chris might be on
I
something.
think that we might be onto something, but yeah, further research is needed.
Further research required on this one, because that's just an awkward. It could, and like I said, could just be the photo not being flattering, but that's an awkwardly built human being of a man.
Since we're on him though, might be loaned out to Legia. Thoughts?
He's familiar with the league, right? He's familiar with the Polish league. Probably good that he'll get, like, I'm assuming, more consistent minutes than he's going to get here
He's
moving
supposed
forward.
to, at least according to Legia fans on Reddit that I saw, because they have a shambles goalkeeping situation. So I think that they're kind of looking to bring him in as a veteran of the league to just kind of step in and be reliable for them. So
you said before the show, Chris,
I hope that he's able to do that.
Yeah, you said before, prior to us going live, Chris, you were like, yeah, apparently from Legia fans, like, we have 2 shambolic keepers. I'm like, want to make it 3.
Yeah, they might not realize that, but or maybe we just haven't really given them fully the chance.
Yeah. Could also be.
I mean, he hasn't been given
maybe
consistent enough minutes.
That's his level.
He's played in the team in kind of weird moments, weird games, weird moments.
Like, I don't think he ever got like maybe the right chance.
Juan Pereira kind of tried to bring him back, but like also that team, the Juan Pereira was fucked up. So there's that.
We'll keep an eye on it. The rumor is he's going to Legia. Probably.
I think there's still 2 weeks for the Polish window. So that announcement may not be imminent, but it probably will come.
What happened to everyone's transfer window ending like roughly the same day? Like, what kind of utter woke nonsense?
Yeah, it is honestly.
I don't mind it.
Annoying.
I don't mind it because we can now use
gives you backup
Poland,
plan.
Turkey, Russia
to like offload
sort of money laundering purposes. And personally, I'm all for it.
To just offload dudes we don't want.
Speaking of money laundering, the failed transfer of that random Union Leydia winger, who himself was on loan for 50% of his pass. Bro, what the fuck was that?
I love that.
Portuguese football is
what was that transfer, man?
This reminds me of
I once heard. There was a couple days at the end of January where it looked like that might be our only signing of the transfer window.
Yeah. There was a very brief window of time.
It wasn't, but it was still like I don't know where that guy came from, and apparently his name's not going away. They're gonna return. They're gonna return in the summer. They'll return in the summer. And at that point, Union Leydia doesn't need to be paid out. So why the fuck are we giving money to them for no reason?
We got two more.
We're buying their guy on loan. Never works for us, really.
Yeah.
This saga
is 2 more transfers, and then we'll do the conspiracy.
All right.
Marcus Edwards right here going to Burnley.
Obligation to buy for 10 million
if they're promoted.
Where are they in the promotion hunt right now?
Up there, I think in 3rd, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so it's up there. Remember when we were talking about 40 million fees for Marcus Edwards?
They're in 2nd.
I still think
tied on points.
I still think I understand he didn't play a lot this season, but I still think this is a poor transfer from us because Artur Cabral, he hasn't left yet, but apparently he was going for 20 million.
To West Ham United, right?
To West Ham. Galeno, who Porto fans have been chirping for the last year and a half, went for 50. Okay, it's to Saudi, but still went for 50. I mean, 10?
I think Edwards well-documented piss poor.
I mean, I was shit on him and joking that he wasn't even gonna get a move like this. Like I was saying he was gonna get a move to like Hull City to
championship nonetheless though.
To fight to stay in the championship to avoid League One. But I mean he could get his prem move,
He could.
I need to understand what the hell happened though, because
I
such a drastic change here.
I think Edwards having a well-documented piss poor attitude did him and did Sporting zero favors.
Yeah, but then how bad has it become since Amorim left? Because or since the summer, really.
The fact that
3 coaches in the last 6 months have decided I'm not putting up with your bullshit says a lot to me.
Under Amorim, he was more so injured. João Pereira played him. Okay, then he fucked off after 2-3 games. Rui Borges, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how much it has to do with I think with Rui Borges, it's been the administration saying, listen, we want to sell this guy, don't play him. Because he's been evading questions.
He hasn't really given him a chance.
No, he never really got a chance. And
whereas with João Pereira, 100%. They gave him that chance. He played like shit. Even against Amarante, he played like shit. Yeah. Or no, against Amarante, I think he might have gone.
No, that was actually the only good game he had all season.
Yeah. After Amarante, horrible.
Dreadful.
So, it's tough. It's tough. I'm even if it's piss poor attitude, he's had a piss poor attitude. So how bad has it really become? Maybe he threw a temper tantrum. Maybe you're right, Rich. He threw a temper tantrum for not leaving in the
maybe it's not even
summer.
a temper
And
tantrum.
again,
Danny.
we have
Maybe it's
no
just his
fucking
unwillingness
serious
to want to take
reporting
criticism.
on
Nothing.
inner workings of the locker room, of the club, etc. We have the fucking sensitized corporate media. So yeah, maybe Marcus Edwards had a fucking temper tantrum and blew up and started punching the whiteboard, but we're never gonna fucking know that because they don't report on shit like that.
I
In
think
England
it's
they do.
something.
How many farts, bro? It's in the paper the next day.
Yeah,
right?
for real.
I think it's something less drastic. I think his attitude stems from more. He doesn't take. I don't think he takes constructive criticism well at all. And I think he seems he never learned the language. Now that's lots of guys come in and don't necessarily learn the language. He's not the only one. But it seemed like he almost was like
you're on this. I think it was
he was almost
and
insulated.
human comes
Edwards has a bad attitude, but we're willing to deal with it for Edwards. And then at a certain point, they're like, okay, if you're not even gonna play well and you're gonna have a shit attitude, like,
and you're gonna be
right, bro,
it seemed like he was almost antisocial at times.
We gained nothing from you, so peace. You know?
Yeah, it seemed like he was almost antisocial at times too, where he was very much like keep to himself. I'm like, that's fine, but it's like you'd see all the team outings. Like,
less ridiculous.
Guys would go and hang out like off the
and
pitch.
It's not like he's
never
like
there.
out partying or anything. I actually think he's like keeps to himself. You know, I just don't think he was like bought into like the sporting project or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like a Delta rot in the way where it's like, you know, we'll take the bullshit because for the player it's worth it. You know, but it's not like he was doing the same things to alienate himself from the team that Adeltarat was doing, but nonetheless, he was still alienating himself from the team.
I think he was alienating himself from the team.
And for a long time, for a while, at many clubs he's played in and many teams he's played in, it didn't matter. Or it was worth it. And I guess
I think that's Sporting it became not worth it because they had other guys that could fill in. Like Trincão stepped up the last year big. Pot when he was healthy stepped up big.
Yeah, Trincão really taking off
didn't help him.
Has been critical to allowing this to even happen. Yeah.
That's true. Remember, we used to compare the two. I mean, we would say Edwards was better than Trincão. I don't think anybody.
There was a time when we were like, 40 million.
Who should start? You know, was a question. You know.
Yeah. There was a time when we were thinking 40 million for him, and I think
not even who should start. We should. Sorry, Rich, real quick. There was a time where we were getting mad at Amorim for starting Trincão and having Edwards
over Edwards. Yeah. No, you're bang on. You're bang on. Like look how far, but like to look at those conversations we were having even less than a year ago to now. Yeah. And I think Chris, you nailed it bang on the head. Like I don't think it was like he blew up necessarily. I just think it was he was probably antisocial, probably didn't take criticism, constructive or otherwise, very well, which further alienated him from the team. Probably wasn't bought into the project. We know very well that he's been angling for a move back to England for some time. It's been no secret. So, and like you said, Chris, if he was playing well and the chances he had got when he's been healthy this season, you could justify it. But he's not even playing great. He's played kind of piss poor the games he has played. And there's other guys who have moved above him in the pecking order. You don't want to put up with.
He's one of these guys that like doesn't really run all the time, especially tracking back. And it's
sorry. Did we at least break even?
No,
right?
No.
We paid like around 10 million for him, right?
We paid a little more, I think.
Yeah, but it was.
This is gonna probably be
only 50% of his economic rights, though.
Yeah.
This is probably gonna be like a bit of a lose money situation, but
we are up to 65.
It's probably gonna be you barely break even, or you just miss out on breaking even because his values just tanked so much.
Which
the last
is crazy that breaking even on a player that we thought was going to be making 30 million profit. You know, it's kind of crazy.
Least, yeah.
And to speak of the English tax, maybe we're winning a bit on taking his wages off. That's the only thing I can think of.
I mean, I bet he's probably on a higher paid.
Here's the thing: is if Burnley gets promoted and he signs on a permanent at Burnley in the Premier League, he is going to see a fairly reasonable wage increase.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
He's
100%.
probably at roughly 1 million euros a year or just under. And that's going to increase by 50%.
At least.
No,
I
think maybe 1.52 on the high side.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if he has 15 goals, maybe Rich, but
yeah, true. I guess if he all of a sudden goes sicko mode, maybe.
But if he just does really nothing, contributes, and they're keeping him, i.e. like not loaning him out or whatever. Yeah, I think he's looking at at least a 50% increase in his wages, which for fucking off is a pretty good outcome.
Taking a run for being a lazy by most people's accounts, like a bit of a lazy shit. Like, yeah, take it. Yeah, it's sucks. Like, I feel bad, but at the same time, like, you know what? Like, I think you brought some of this on yourself. Yeah. And I feel like some of this could have been avoided. Like, his attitude, just like, look at him in that photo. He looks like he wants to be anywhere else.
There is one of them smiling that I saw, or at least like
not that I've seen
smirking a little bit more than that.
Yeah. Like, that looks like every dude that's ever signed in Saudi. Like, they're just happy to collect a paycheck.
Yo, the new dude who signed for Al Nassr, Duran, is going to live. First off, when I saw this, I was like,
Bahrain.
I was like, the tax deal in Saudi Arabia is great.
Oh,
so if he's choosing to live in Bahrain and commute 300 kilometers each way to get to training
and back, yeah,
I can only imagine what the fucking tax benefits are. Jesus Christ.
Crazy. Ridiculous. Oh, he's almost kind of smirking there. Yeah, he's almost.
It'll last a year max. Like that.
Look at this.
Yeah, see, he's smiling a little bit more in that one, right?
Oh, barely. Barely. And then last bit of transfer news. Skip past that really quick. Dario Asugo. Being linked to Chelsea for 25 million. He's impressed in La Liga for Las Palmas.
He has.
He's been very good for them, actually. Tidy piece of business by Sporting, if so.
I don't know. I think we should have gone more. If this is true, and he's already been linked to Barcelona, Real Madrid, I get it. 25 million for a guy who's barely paid for us. But if this was Benfica, it's 60.
Yeah,
it's 40 or whatever it is. A young 19-year-old. This is the. Yeah, we should. I mean, Hugo-Viana's been.
We should, but.
But yeah, but again, I mean, I don't mind it, right? 25 million is better than nothing. It's better than 15, but keep in mind, this is just 10. This is just 10 better than it's 10 more than we got for Shermiti and it's Shermiti. You know what I mean? And this is a player that's been linked.
Let's keep in mind Everton. Let's keep in mind
there, but Chelsea are fucking buying.
I feel like they could have squeezed.
Chelsea spent 120 on Enzo.
I feel like Chelsea, you probably could have easily squeeze another 5-10 mil out of this, probably, if you really want
especially for Chelsea and the Premier League, we could have at least gotten 40, in my opinion, for it.
We also know what the sell-on clause will probably be, like what percentage they get.
To be honest with you, is Chelsea really going to make a profit off of this? I think Chelsea are only going to sell him if he shits the bed. So it's not like he's going to make a massive profit off of this either, in my opinion, unless he explodes. I mean, if he explodes, he's just
if he even has the opportunity to explode.
If he even has the opportunity to, exactly.
Like he could easily, but that's the thing, he could easily just become another one of the lost in the Chelsea void.
He could easily become Vega, who played well for 3 months and then got loaned out to Juve.
Yeah. Easily. Right, yeah, you're not wrong.
And this is a player who, in my opinion, is our human replacement, especially after the season he's been having. Touted with Real Madrid.
I would have loved to see Asugo minutes this season. I feel like this would have been the season where, especially with even without the injuries, I think it would have been nice to see him get more minutes. I think he would have thrived.
He would have been playing instead of Joel Simoes, currently.
But yeah, he would have definitely on the depth chart. He would have been ahead of Joel Simoes. I think he would have been, especially when you factor in injuries. I think he would have been perfect for some of those games as more of a deep lying player. Even without the injuries, though, I think it would have been nice to have him. He still would have probably got decent minutes.
But mind you, this is the best. This is still the best outcome because, as the tweet says there, 14 games played, 14 games for Las Palmas started all 14. So far, this has been excellent, right? He's really getting his potential out of it. He's finally getting minutes. Yeah. I know he's only 18.
Consistently, yeah, he's getting them consistently.
So I mean, good on us, good on him. He's doing what he should have done on this loan. I'm disappointed, and I think this will, unless Chris has anything else to add, or Rich, you have anything else to add, this will go into Rich's perfect conspiracy point. And I think it's a quick little Hugo Vienna event session because this, especially January, has been very disappointing, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We have some conspiracy theories on this, but we'll let Chris lead off that because he's the lead conspiracy theorist for all things Alvalade. As we go, so Hugo Viana is officially departed from Sporting. Chris, I'm gonna let you take it away and then get into conspiracies.
Yeah, well,
I sit back and relax.
I think the reporting on this, the story here is more so the lack of reporting on this.
Yeah.
Finally, about a week ago, news broke that Viana would be leaving his post early to take up his role at Man City slightly earlier than expected, which was, I guess, June was the slated start date, which I don't even quite remember if it was a rumor that he was taking the Man City job and then Sporting was like, oh shit, like Fabrizio Romano is tweeting it, like we gotta make a statement, and then they made a statement, or if they were just upfront and honest about it to begin with. I highly doubt it was the second one, and I'm guessing that it leaked and then they had to react to it. And even that, like in the Sporting universe, like Hugo Viana, like agreeing 8 months in advance to go to Man City, like was kind of crazy. And I'll be honest, like deals like this, handshake deals like this might happen all the time in the football world. We just don't get to know about it. That's probably more likely. But it was still crazy that we got to know about this. And you immediately think, okay, like, is he committed to his job at Sporting the rest of the season? Like, is he going to be scouting for Man City? Like, if he really has some great prospect or whatever, or he really wants to make it, like, why the fuck would he make it for us and not make it for them? Or, like, forward the resume to the Man City scout? Like, it just seems like it feels like it's difficult for us to benefit from this situation. And it felt weird that he was like staying on, I guess. Almost as weird that it like leaked mid-season. But there was like not much like curiosity, I want to say, from like the Portuguese media, like to like dig into it, like what went down. I remember like the private Viana was hopping on the private jet. I think he might have gotten sniped on the jet a couple times, which is maybe how the story started to get leaked.
There was images of him in Manchester with what's his name?
Yeah, the current sporting director whose job he's replacing. They were like walking through like a Christmas Village type thing, chit-chatting or whatever. So I have honestly seriously questioned Hugo Viana's commitment to his current role. And I mean, I'll be honest, that's understandable. Like, I've been in a situation where, like, I know I'm getting a new job, right? Like, everything's.
You're just kind of like, let me just.
Why am I gonna bust my ass for the job that I know that I'm leaving?
You're like, I'm just gonna do what I gotta do, and
it's very normal. So I'm not even faulting Hugo Viana for that. I'm faulting the club for allowing him to continue in a role when he was perhaps not focused on it.
In fact, it's proven. Belferreira even mentioned, because they just lost their center back, Vitor Reis, I think his name is, to City. And on the press conference, Belferreira said he had a conversation with somebody over in Europe, and he never should have had that conversation. Because of that, they took a player, Manchester City. So who else would it have been? Mm-hmm. And this was around the same time where there was the rumors of Abel Ferreira coming to take over João Pereira's spot. So put two and two together, like
you started on the numbers. It's very likely it was probably Hugo Viana having that conversation.
Nico Gonzalez going from Porto to City, that has Viana written all over it too.
Yeah.
That's a Viana transfer.
A guy he got to observe up close more so than other guys. That makes a lot of sense too. And I just kind of think that this is. I mean, most of this is just my reading of the situation. Some of it has been reported, but barely. And then the only article I've really seen is from CNN, and they said like Sporting was like kind of fed up with Viana. So I
which
think
I could get. Like,
I think that as the transfer window kind of neared the end, and it was clear that like he wasn't really doing anything, or he said he was going to do stuff and then never followed up, or I don't know. Something happened where they were like, okay, well, we're running out of time. Like, if we don't do something, he's not going to do anything, and the window's going to shut, and we're not going to take care of the business that we need to take care of. And so I think BL is a panic purchase in the last 72 hours of the window because there was no work that was being done.
It felt like a lot. It felt like the transfers they did complete this window.
I think that BL was obviously a player that they had scouted in the past. They were familiar with. Like, you know, you have a list, right? You have a target list, and, you know, players get crossed off of it. You know, you're like, okay, we only have X amount of money, so let's cross off the guys that are more. And like, I don't think that they just like went on FM, right? Like, I think that he's a guy that they've looked at before, and they're going back to the old notes, and they're like, well, we need to get somebody. Like, how about
here's a guy. Like,
he fits the price range.
Like, pick a guy.
You know, and then I think that it just happened very quickly. So it could either work out great, or it could just be just a 6 million wasted. But we'll see. And yeah, I think that towards the end they were like, all right, dude, you're not committed to this anymore. So
like, you're not gonna cook. That's fine.
You need to leave. You need to leave.
Oh yeah, like if you're gonna just don't waste our time.
And I think,
like, if you're gonna work, then work. But if not,
I think it's amazing that there's been almost no reporting on any of this.
It's a little surprising that no one
clearly
mentioned it.
Things are happening. Shit is happening. Like, none of this is normal, and there's like no information on it. We mentioned before, like the Edward situation, like very, very, very fucking unclear what
very little
actually happened.
Really known about it.
Really unclear. We can have our ideas. We can fill in the blanks. We can like try to piece together different things that people have said at different times, but like there's just like no insider scoops, man. And I think that's by design. I mean, Sporting has a very good, like, they leak to certain journalists. Those journalists will agree to only do certain things. Like, I just think that they have a very good grasp on this situation. And the Varandas is suing Inacio for comments made. I feel like the coverage of that is very one-sided, which would make a lot of sense if these journalists are not going to be doing I don't even want to say adversarial reporting. In that situation, it might be more adversarial reporting, but just like telling us what happened with Hugo Viana is not adversarial reporting, bro. That's just normal reporting. Exactly. That's just doing your job normally, finding out what happened and telling us what happened. Like, that's quite literally your job. And I think that Sporting has an ironclad lock on the Portuguese media right now. What gets out because they wanted to get out. Nothing is getting out that they don't want out. And just right now, like, if you read a story, if you see a leak or you see it's put like they're okay with you reading it, basically. There's nothing that's being published like against their wishes. Because the truth of the Hugo Viana blow up with our president would certainly be against their wishes to publish, so they don't publish it. And that is my conspiracy.
I like it. No, I like that. I do wonder, because like he's not leaving. He's leaving on okay terms, but you're right. He's not leaving on the best of terms. And like, I do wonder if it came to okay, you're leaving at the end of the season. That's fine. But are you here to fucking work, or are you? And
they're not like, he's not like he's leaving and they're like the greatest sporting director ever. They're highlighting all his greatest accomplishments. Exactly. They're tweeting out edited graphics of him and shit. Nothing. Like, nothing.
There was supposed to be an interview with him, and I mean, maybe it's still gonna come, but so far, nothing.
Nothing. kind
Just
of quiet
like
on
I
that
think there was
front.
just the one tweet like of his trophies or something like that.
It was just like, thank you for your service. It was literally like a thank you for your service tweet, like kind of what most players get. There wasn't anything really spectacular.
Like any
take a
graphics
look.
or things that I see about him, like I saw one of his biggest sales. It's like that was fan made. Like the club didn't.
Yeah,
The club didn't
Club
do that.
didn't
We
produce
got hang
that,
on, you
yeah.
got
the club has posted more
CR7
about
thing.
it's just this. The club
Yeah,
has
it's
posted
just
more
this. It's the only
about Ronaldo's birthday today than they have with
Then they did about Hugo Viana.
You
There was
know,
a comunicado out.
the engineer of the club's success turnaround, you could argue.
Yeah.
Not barely anything, barely
It's
acknowledged.
just
So
all a bit odd.
I do
Let me
wonder
just say
maybe,
also-
I do wonder now that you've pointed all that out, Chris, if maybe they kind of told him like, okay, if you're not here to work, then fuck off and go. Like don't waste our time, because that's not fair to anybody. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to the club. It's just like go.
He
Like
never
if you already got
resolved the
1/5
goalkeeper.
more, leave. Yeah. Like and like you said, it feels like all the
Never
few
resolved
buys he
as
did-
Gaia. He just didn't do any of the shit
He
was
didn't do
supposed to
anything. I felt like he was just on cruise control. I'm like, well, someone else will deal with it. And they're like, well, you're still here. Like, this is still your like, yeah, you're leaving, but this is still your job.
It's
like,
crazy that he
like
thought that they were gonna be cool with that. I guess they were
mean-
cool with him not working for like 3 months. It was like, what's fucking 6?
Yeah.
But you
To
know,
be fair,
what? Like,
yeah.
here's how I look at it. If I work at a restaurant, all right, and I give you my 2 weeks notice,
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect you shouldn't expect me to do extra.
Yeah, exactly.
But
It's
you
like
should
if
still
you're the
expect-
manager of this restaurant, you're an idiot now if you think my workload is going to be the same.
But I still expect you to flip fucking eggs. Yeah, but that's the thing. I still expect you
to get,
if you work at the restaurant,
70%,
fucking
right?
eggs.
Like I don't expect 10%, but I don't expect 100 either. I probably expect like 70.
I expect 70. Like if I'm cooking at your restaurant, at Chris's restaurant, you expect me to still flip fucking eggs, to still clean the grill, and to make sure shit's done at the end of the shift. You at least expect me to do what I'm asked to do on a day-to-day basis. He wasn't doing that, from what it sounds like. He wasn't even doing the bare minimum. He wasn't doing the bare minimum.
Well. Yeah.
He was just there. He was just a body.
Personally, we should have let him go the moment he was announced with City. That was way
we should have done an Amorim and just
and it would have been a perfect like learning curve.
Okay, I just thought of another conspiracy, which I'm not even sold on this one, but the idea that like João Pereira was born to be the successor and was planned for over what if that was all just a lie?
We got the wrong João Pereira though. I think that's what that was.
Like, and they're just like, he just had nothing, he had prepared nothing. There was no succession plan whatsoever.
Yeah.
It was kind of sudden, and that was all they had.
But to be fair,
then they created the backstory to kind of cover their asses.
Yeah. But I think we still had 2 weeks.
I'm not even fully convinced of that, but it does that moment, like if this conspiracy we're saying about Viana is true, partially true, that moment of the João Pereira hire, it's hard to imagine that it wasn't affected. If all the other things were affected, but this thing wasn't. I don't know.
You do start to wonder, like,
and then you look at how unprepared João Pereira was, seemingly, right? Like,
I'm really curious to know.
Have we just had our pants down the whole season and we're about to win the league?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Crazy. Imagine we had our pants up.
I'm curious to know what Hugo Viana's role is when it comes to getting coaches. I mean, he's clearly got Ruben Amorim, so he must have some sort of say on other coaches. So you're not wrong there. If he got Ruben Amorim, he convinced the club to pay the second most transfer of all coaches at the time. So
the second highest fee for a manager.
Second highest fee, exactly. So he clearly must have a say in João Pereira. He clearly must have, and not only that, he must have clearly had a say in João Pereira for the B team and the U23s at first as well.
You would think,
You would think.
I would have thought.
Also, meaning he must have had a hand in Kaiser. He must have had a hand in Silas. I think that's about it, right? In terms of
Zep Saidu, no.
You could say
that was more of a. I feel like that
he
was
inherited him.
Yeah,
I think I'd say he inherited him. Yeah.
I still live. I will still die by. I think Kaiser was okay. I think they sandbagged him at the beginning of that 2019-20
Yeah,
season.
It's always going to be a tough job. It was always going to be a tough job.
They
But nonetheless,
left him out to dry. That dude's team. I mean, credit Bruno Fernandes was a lot of that team, but you don't go from winning 2 trophies one season to
and then
being
they
absolute
fired him
dog
right
shit without
before the
poor
season.
personnel.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing was planned horribly.
They hung him completely out to
Which
dry.
I mean, it's like there's way more instances of poor planning than good planning. And so you really start to think like, did they somehow just like pull the greatest move of all time to sign Amorim? Like, kind
100%.
of like not by like accident,
100%.
but like, yo, they did not think that shit
it was a game.
even
It was a game of chance. It was magic beans. They got magic beans basically. Could have been great. Could have been nothing. Right? But they hit.
And now Amorim's about to get sacked, and this fucking like shocking 6 months at Man U is going to completely taint, if not completely erase, his legacy at Sporting as far as his consideration for continuing as a top manager.
It's also going to look really bad.
He's going to have to go back down to the Sporting level again.
And it's going to
his
look
next job
really
is not going to be Real Madrid after this, you know.
And that's the thing. Say he does get sacked. Say he does get sacked at the end of the season, which
it could be Italy to Roma, who just is coming off like 7.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it could be just like something like Roma.
Could be like a mid-table
Lazio,
Italian
which I would argue is kind of a back to the level of Sporting.
100%.
A little bit, yeah.
100%.
I think as well. Like if he gets say hypothetically at the end of the season or whatever, he does get the boot from United. Like you said, Chris.
Which I'm not saying is fair, but
because it's a shambles.
To imagine
it's a shambolic club. But I'm just saying, imagine
games, 7 losses. That's so fucking.
And most
bad.
of them at home too. Yeah. I think the only way they do that is if they're like really worried about getting relegated. Until that happens, I
don't think they're actually worried about that. They have like a 3 games, 3 maybe 4,
3 or 4 game cushion. Like
exactly.
You need to have an utter collapse for that to happen. Still,
exactly. That's why I don't think it'll happen.
But on my point,
they didn't help him this January either.
But my point too, Danny, is let's say he does get the boot at the end of the season. Hypothetical. I'm just putting hypotheticals out here.
100%.
Say he gets the boot.
I once said that like no matter what, he's gonna get at least like another 6 months at the start of next season, or maybe like 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
But dude, it's getting so bad, bro. I think they actually could.
That's the thing. It's gotten to the point where it's not. There's a non-zero.
It's so bad. I feel
but let's just say for hypothetical,
it like actually got worse. Like it didn't. Yeah.
Let's just say hypothetical end of season, they shit can him. How much worse will it look if he gets shit canned and Sporting wins like a double, like they win the league and the cup, or they make like a run in the or they make like a crazy run in the Champions League?
Yeah, the narrative is like, you were winning Farmers League down there, bro. Anyone can win that league. Sporting was shit this year. They still won the title, bro.
It looks better on him.
Fuck your Portuguese league title.
I almost think it looks worse if they win.
I think that's the English attitude. I think that's the English attitude is, okay, so that shit didn't even matter anyway.
Yeah. Fair.
Unless they do the impossible and win Champions League, then it's like, whoa, hang on. Not that I'm saying that's happened. Knock on wood.
Yes, that would actually like
if
real
they, like,
European
made it to like
run.
if they made it to like a semi-final, let's say, or like they lose or they win or they lose the final. Like if they make like a crazy
that makes João Pereira look like possibly the worst manager of
all time. That would make João Pereira look bad. And I think that would think of the content we're gonna get if that ever happened. Like just on the Ruben Amorim front alone, it would be hilarious because they'd be like, "Bro, you gave up the opportunity to potentially create history to go take the Man United job, and you got shit canned in 6 months while your old club went and did the impossible." Like,
I think,
don't think that will happen. But
that won't happen. But
imagine.
To your point, I know a perfect example of this. It'll be basically Steven Gerrard, where he was in an inferior league, won it with Rangers, went to Villa to this big English move, ready to prove himself, and was in the relegation zone and got canned, replaced by Unai Emery, and now Emery's in the Champions League.
So, Emery's competing for titles, it looks like.
Yeah.
And
Like,
Gerard is working for
Saudi.
Saudi Arabia
From
for
Saudi
3
Arabia.
months. And
And
then
Learning-
learning Chinese because that's next, buddy.
Yeah, very trying to brush up on your Mandarin, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, imagine. Like, one, we'd be happy because we don't care who's the coach for Sporting. If they won the Champions League, you could fold the team the next day. I'd be fine.
100%. Yeah.
But yeah, imagine how hilarious that would be if we went on some crazy Champions League run and then he gets fired, like at the end of the season. That would be the amount of dunking that would happen to him on social media from fans of all clubs. I think it would unite the football world together. Like, it would
Honestly,
unite
though,
so many people. I think
and-
even
and-
Porto fans and Benfica fans would be like, this motherfucker just thought he was playing chess, bro. Wasn't even in the game.
Benfica
Like,
fans will be happy because Benfica fans will think they have a chance to get him.
to get him, like, what's fair. But it would
but,
it would be so
I
fun.
think-
It would be
I think-
hilarious.
I think Ruben Amorim has more risk of having egg on his face if Rashford goes to Villa and actually
And goes
has
sicko
one
mode.
good game. Just all it takes is one, and United lose that game or that week. Then he does of one.
People are gonna lose their
I just
minds.
don't think he's going to get sacked personally, unless he's.
I don't
like,
think.
really
I
in the
think.
run.
Like,
I think they give him at least.
I'm
10 next
just
season.
trying-
But he's getting
like,
he's getting
the
a lot of
English
shit already
media is
because
so
David
tough,
Moyes has
though.
went in to Everton and already changed their fortunes. Vitor Paredes went into Wolves and already changed their
Got them
fortunes.
out of the
So they're
relegation
looking at
zone,
Amorim like, bro, what are you doing here?
What's the
So,
secret sauce with you here? Like,
Yeah. So, but we'll see. We'll see. He can easily
but
also win.
it's like I've said for several years now. It's nice to think you will go to Manchester United at this point and you can be this, because
It's
if
a
you are the
Portuguese salad
savior,
right now.
you're minted for life. You are
Yeah.
the king. But it is
Somebody
a-
has to do it eventually,
But
right? I really
right
it's really
now-
bad for it.
right now, optically, if I was a manager, I would not want to take that job because it feels more like a suicide mission than
Depends on the
anything.
ambition, though. If he has that, I can't fault his ambition.
Yeah.
There. It's the
They've
biggest club
gone
in
through
the
how many
world, that's a
coaches? They've gone through
garbage.
how many coaches over the last 10 years?
Not as many as you
Like
think. I think like
14.
4.
David Moyes, Louis Van
Yeah,
Gaal,
because-
Jose
yeah,
Mourinho,
you're
Ole Gunnar
right,
Solskjaer,
Solskjaer lasted a couple seasons.
Eric Ten Hag,
Ten Hag,
6.
and Amorim.
But that's not
They
a
give-
bad number compared
They give him a
to.
couple years each, yeah.
Look at Gimenez. Compare how many managers
Oh,
Gimenez
fuck.
has had in
Just
the last
Gimenez
10
this
years.
season.
Gimenez
this
exactly.
last
Yeah,
year.
3 this season, right?
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, it's going bad there, and maybe he's gonna get sacked. Maybe we'll see, but he can easily win the Europa League. And all fine.
And then I guess
And
then all
Europa
will do
League,
well.
he's looked good in Europa League, and there's like a handful of clubs that can take him. If Porto get their shit together, maybe. If
Maybe.
Tottenham get their shit together, maybe. Who else really? You know, like I don't know if Sevilla is there, but I don't.
I'm
think
just
they are.
saying, man, like, it's not looking good, Brad, for him
It's not
right
looking
now.
good.
It's not
though.
looking good.
Good,
Brad.
and I'm happy. I'm happy he's struggling out there. Fuck that guy.
You know,
We should've
no,
won
and
the Champions
I
League.
agree. Like, you can sit there and appreciate what he did for Sporting. I said this when he left.
100%.
You can appreciate it, but also you kind of left us high and dry, and it looks good on you for leaving the club high and dry, and you're getting absolutely dunked on almost on a weekly basis. So part of me is like, I don't feel bad for you because you knew what you were walking into. It was no secret how much of a mess Manchester United was and has been. This shouldn't come as a surprise to you. So you knew what you signed up for. Fucking live with your decision. Because you left us high and dry when you could have coasted for the rest of the season, cemented your legacy, and instead you wanted to go. I understand it's for the money. I'll never fault a guy for taking the bag, but you knew what you knew what your decision was, and you knew what you were getting into.
But anyways, as a cleanse, as we finish this off, look at
This
cute
handsome
patootie.
man.
It is cute, patootie.
Look at this cute guy.
Yeah.
Totally. That's been the
Any
show.
modalidad stuff. I think it's just Portugal,
Handball finished 4th at the World Cup. Portuguese boys, their best finish ever at a World Cup. So congrats to them. Would have liked to see them get a medal, but they fought hard. Historic result for them for sure. So we're happy. I don't know if any. Oh, we drew to Benfica, the women, 1-1 away at the Stade de
1-1.
Luge. Just shy of 20K.
I actually had a chance to watch the game.
I didn't get to watch it.
Good
I would have
game.
liked to.
Could have
watch
gone
it.
either way.
It was from all accounts.
A lot of
it was a
chances.
very
Actually,
close
kind of
game.
surprised. Kind of surprised it finished 1-1, to be honest.
Yeah.
It felt like more like a 3-3, to be honest. But I think 1-1. I think a draw.
A draw is
is-
fair.
is
A draw was
honestly
fair
probably
from what
fair,
everybody that
yeah.
I spoke to, everything that I saw in match reports. I think like you said, Chris, I think people felt like a draw was fair. It maybe should have been like a 2-2 or a 3-3 with the amount of chances both teams had created. But yeah, so big draw for away to Benfica, but almost 20K at the game. So very nice to see the women's game.
Yeah, I
go
think
in
it was the
Portugal.
4th highest attended women's match in Portugal.
Yeah, I don't know of any other modalidad stuff off the top of my head. So if you
basketball won.
Mhm.
Basketball won, so strung together 2 wins in a row.
Look out!
I think there's still 3
Run
games
around.
back of Benfica in first.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We have playoffs. That's all that matters, anyways.
Playoffs. What are you talking about? Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoffs. Hope they can
8,
win some
right?
games.
I think so.
Yeah,
Shout out
I
Luka
think that's
Doncic since we're here.
Hockey won too.
Shout out to Luka Doncic. If you're a
Shout out
Dallas
Luka
Mavericks fan,
Doncic.
you have the world's permission to just switch teams one time. We understand. I would.
I think that there's more to that story that we're not.
100%.
Oh, there's
And-
there's gonna be
and
there's gonna be
there's
some
also
some
there's
phenomenal
also more
stuff
to the
in there.
Shohei Ohtani story. And
Mm.
I don't think I don't know if we'll ever find out the truth.
We'll get one
Maybe
day
in like 10, 20
Just
years
all
in a
ended up
20
documentary.
really
years,
convenient.
ESPN will do a wonderful documentary about it. It's gonna be
It just ended up really convenient for everyone involved that
Yeah.
the superstar new face of the league somehow was just not involved at all, and also didn't realize this guy was siphoning like $20 million out of his account. That's just
Yeah.
really convenient.
in
That's all I'm
20
saying.
Don't
years.
look there,
20
don't look
years. Yeah, in 20
And-
years, ESPN's gonna make some a phenomenal documentary like they always do, and we're gonna love the content,
And
and it's gonna be great.
And the Luka trade, it seemingly doesn't make any sense unless
Here's-
there's information
this isn't
such as like
speculative, but
Luka's an
I have a bone to
alcoholic. Which
I
then
have a
you're like,
bone to pick.
okay,
He could
if
be
he's
an
an
alcoholic.
alcoholic,
Or
maybe it's
Listen.
actually a decent trade then.
Rich, before you go, Rich, really quick.
Yeah.
He is also balking, so he can easily be having coffee and cigarettes for breakfast,
That
and they're
Balkan
just
breakfast.
finding out.
He's just having
I mean,
the
he
Balkan diet.
Yeah,
Anyone who's looked at him knows that he's always kind of had the little, Pillsbury
Little chunk,
Doughboy
little
aesthetic
chunk, little thick
slightly,
boy.
but that I've always taken that as he just kind of has that type of body, like
Yeah, that's just how he is.
I don't think that he's just like out of shape all the time. Maybe he is.
My thought process is
I don't
why
know, bro.
would
It just
you-
seems
my thought
he
process
seems to be
is-
playing at a pretty high level despite these ailments, though. or
my
whatever.
thought process is if he's on the market, why would you not try to create a bidding war?
I don't know.
that
dude,
alone-
because you
that
don't
alone
want
to
anyone
me-
else. Because he
No, but that
knows
alone
Rob's
to
the
me is a
only other
fireable
guy that
offense,
knows that he's
because
an
if-
alcoholic.
If it's known that Luka Doncic is on the trade market, you have 29 teams that are willing to give you the
Well,
sun and the
if it's
moon
known
you
that
can
he's
pit
on the
against each
trade
other.
market because he's an alcoholic, maybe you're actually worsening your
Yeah.
chances.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe
No,
that.
they're like, okay, well, fuck it. It doesn't
I
matter.
think
He
it's
can
only
still
because
ball.
they really wanted AD. Because
But like, really,
I don't
that's
think he's
They
on the
wanted
trade.
AD that
in
bad?
2025, the year
I
of our
get it.
Lord.
They need height. They need defense. They have
I
Kyrie.
mean,
who's
I
a
will
scorer,
say
AD
I'm
who's a
sorry.
scorer.
I
They
think
can easily win a ring. Mavs have a much better team than the Lakers right now. Without especially after this trade, I think they win the trade. It's just like 2-3 years from now they don't.
What if they sign Durant too, and then they have a new big three of
Yeah,
That's
Durant,
crazy.
maybe.
Too. Yeah, I can
AD,
see that
and
too.
Kyrie?
But who are they giving up to get Durant? Like, who is Phoenix going to take at this point?
Yeah, like they have nothing. That's why
Yeah.
I'm saying you could have held out and created a bit of. You could have pitted
Irving.
29 other teams against each other, and you
Yeah.
could have got so much more. And
It's
then you
too
have access
weird.
to
And then they were
Clippers
doing it
Durant.
for like a month. So what? They were just like secretly texting him for a month.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
even and like
Fuck?
like
Yeah, that's
people
what
that
he said.
are
And
well in
Jason
the
Kidd
know
had
in
no
the
idea,
NBA.
by the way, too. That's
People that are
And
well in the
Luka
know
had
in
no
the
idea,
NBA
and
were like,
LeBron
I thought
Luka
had
my
no
phone-
idea.
people when they were getting texts and notifications were like, I thought my phone was hacked when they were getting the news. Like people
Bro,
that are in tune were like,
I
thought
was
this was a
was
joke.
on TikTok late at night, and I seen this Luka highlight of now he's going to be doing this at the Lakers. I was like,
And
what
you're
the
like,
fuck?
okay, sure.
Keep scrolling, whatever. Another one. I was like, wait, what the fuck? I go on Twitter. It's the first thing I see. I'm like, is this NBA Sentinel? Like,
NBA
What?
NBA teams. I've experienced this twice with the Raptors now too, with the DeRozan trade and then Kawhi not returning. Stop making trades at fucking midnight in the middle of the night. Please knock it off.
Yeah,
Well, here's the
I'm
thing
a
that's
night owl,
hilarious
I
to
don't
me.
care.
It's like, bro, like there's talk of maybe the Sixers moving Paul George. and maybe even getting Jimmy Butler back. But it's like
crazy.
He signed a 5-year maximum contract like 4 months ago, bro.
NBA is hilarious.
Like, it is
hilarious.
There's nothing
If
like
that
it,
happened,
man.
if
There's
that
nothing
happened
like
in
it.
soccer, riots.
Oh, fucking! They're
training ground is
people are
getting
going
invaded
out for
Yeah,
stat
I mean, bro,
on the
there's
team.
no other league that's doing shit like that.
NBA is phenomenal. NHL, like you get like one big trade every couple years. We're like, what the fuck? That came out of nowhere. NBA, it happens like every couple months. It feels like something.
It always keeps
ridiculous
you on
happens. And there's nothing quite like it. I think that's it for the day.
For sure.
If there's no other news and notes, I have been Richard Neves. He has been Danny Saldana, and he has been Chris Oliveira.
There they are. I was looking for these banners.
Oh shit! So small.
Oh shit! Wrong ones.
Yeah,
Wrong ones.
Where is it? Oh, there it is.
Yeah. There's Chris. Follow him on X down below. The big Chris69. Follow Danny at DannyS_. Follow me, Richard_N7. Sam couldn't be here, but follow him at Sam Fonseca with 2 A's at the end. Sus. And most importantly, follow us all things Alvalade, AT Alvalade. It's where you'll get most of your news, your updates, your rumor mills, and just kind of banter. And you can find it when we have new content or when we're going live. So make sure to follow us there. Like and subscribe on the YouTube side. We're trying to get to some amount of subscribers.
By the way, if Esgaio does leave for Bodrumspor, who is 6 points under the line, we will be tracking that the remainder of the season.
We will be keeping that. Will be a one.
That's my Turkish team.
Put your money on them staying up, baby.
If
the deal falls through, I don't care. Whatever.
But Gaio saves them.
If he goes there, bro, I'm locked in.
The agenda I am going to have on this podcast is going to be like no other.
So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that.
This could be some phenomenal.
We'll react appropriately.
This could be some phenomenal content. But yeah, he's been Danny and Chris, and he's been Chris. I've been Richard Neves. Thank you very much for joining. We will see you next week following the Dortmund game, either on the Tuesday or the Wednesday. For now, thank you for joining us. Viva Sporting. Peace.